Hi, it's Tom from Leicester Fan TV. What did you think of the game? Now it's my turn.
Good morning, Tom from Leicester Fan TV here. Uh, what can I say? Where do we start? That's 5 losses in a row and another disappointment, if I'm honest with you. I generally thought we played all right yesterday, a bit like the Manchester City game. We kept her himself in the game. We had a few chances, but cost the others, once again conceded 2 goals poorly. But let's talk the way through the game anyway. Obviously, once again, Van Nistelrooy did his lineup, and again, there was still question marks on that. Obviously, seeing that Buonanotte had been dropped from the game against Man City, where I thought he played pretty well. Jordan Ayew came straight back into the starting lineup. So drop your thoughts into that one. I was a bit taken back by that one in Fenosia. I thought the team that played against Man City would be the team that started. Obviously, one forced change with Victor Christensen having to be replaced by Luke Thomas because of illness from the night before. What's a shame, but credit to Luke Thomas. I thought he had a very good game yesterday. He had a steady game. He did nothing wrong in my view. I thought for someone who hadn't played much football this season to come in and play against, some good players in Cash and Bailey down that side, and the other players who played on that side who came on and infected the game. I thought he played pretty well and he kept them quite quiet. But obviously, we kick off. It was not the greatest of first half between any teams. I think Leicester would have been happier going into half time. Obviously, I think Villa had the first chance in the game. Ball comes to Watkins in the box and Cody deflects the ball wide for a corner. Leicester then have a little bit of a counter-attack. Ball comes to El Khanous, who tries to bend one but gets it all wrong and puts it over the crossbar. But, it wasn't a bad half of football for Leicester. I just thought we defended pretty well. We were very structured. We looked very compact. We knew what we were doing. And we just... going forward was just a little bit blunt. There wasn't much going there. Vardy was trying his best as always, and I don't think Vardy had a bad game, but there was nothing around him to get the play going forward when the ball came to him. He was a lone ranger trying to fight off 4 defenders after the time. Second half, I thought we were the brighter team coming out of the second half. Villa Park, I've never heard it so quiet. Obviously, we did a good job to frustrate their fans. And then the biggest chance for Leicester comes before Villa score their first goal. And for me, that is the Mavididi one. The ball comes into the box. It goes towards Vardy. Vardy missed it. El Khanous managed to get in front of Martinez, lays the ball back. And you're just thinking, right, just bend it. Bend it in the far post. You've done this hundreds of times. You can do this. You know how to do this finish. But he tries to side foot it into the net. And, well, I think it goes closer to the corner flag than anything else. And again, it's the small margins in games. You take that early lead, Villa Park would have been even more, frustrated and annoyed that Leicester had gone and scored first. Then literally, 5 minutes later, a corner comes into a box, cleared out again, deflects wide. We don't clear the ball again. Vestergaard, he's done what he needed to do. He headers it, but no one's on the edge of the area. There's no outlet ball for some reason. Vardy's too high. El Khanous was too high. And the ball falls to Ross Bartley. And we all know Ross Bartley on the day, his technique of striking the ball is second to none, and he buries it into the bottom corner. And from the way end, we were all gutted. Villa Park then erupts, and it's the first time I heard Villa Park single game. And you're thinking they given them advantage. Leicester then get back in the game very quickly. And it was a nice slick move. Jordan Ayew nicks the ball off, bombs down the right. At that point, I'm shouting, someone get in the box, because he was bombing up the pitch and no one was there. Fair play to Vardy. He makes the darting run to the near post. He gets his foot on it. It's going in, I thought. And fair play. It's as he is a world-class keeper. He's world number 1. Martinez saves it, and it's a great save off Vardy because it's so close to him to react like he did and get his hand up. But obviously the ball then falls to Mavididi, who side foots it home at 1-1, and you're thinking, right, fair play. We've got ourselves back into the game. Nothing stupid now. If we get a chance to counter-attack, we can get at Villa. And then, for some reason, we didn't make really any substitutions quick enough. As much as Jordan Ayew did have a good game yesterday in some parts, there's other aspects. He needs to fucking trying to go down too easy. He goes down way too easy too many times thinking he's going to win a foul, and the referees aren't giving it to him. for me, I'd have loved to see Buonanotte come on earlier in the game after that 1-1. As soon as that goal went in for me, I felt like the changes should have come quite quickly then, before Villa scored their second goal. For me, I would have loved to seen Buonanotte come on for Jordan Ayew. I thought Jordan Ayew's game had run. He ran himself into the ground. Why he was still on the pitch at the point when the other goal goes in, I still can't get my head round. I think Daka probably should have come on earlier as well, and not after the goal goes in, even if it is on the left-hand side, because Mavididi, if all due, Bar scored the goal. He didn't do enough for me in that game to being left on the pitch as long as he did. And then the sucker punch. Another error, another goal conceded from the right-back position. The ball obviously gets cleared. It comes to Justin right inside the box, and you're thinking, right, just get rid of it. No, he turns back towards the goal. Now, at this point, Solarche, you can clearly shout, give me the ball, I'll clear it. Let him just clear up the line. Justin does a little bit of a dance around the ball, turns back again towards the keeper, again calls for it. By this point, though, Watkins already started to make a move towards him, so it'd be a risky move, but he could have cleared it still out for a throw or something. No, Justin does the worst thing he does. He does a little shimmy and shake, turns back on himself, goes to clip it up the line for some reason to Jordan Ayew, who's in line with the 18-yard box in the tram line, and then turns around and Jordan Ayew tries to block his man. Problem is, man does the opposite. He goes, no, I'm going to nick this ball and I'm going to drive it. Yeah, he does nick the ball, and he's only just come on the pitch 30 seconds before the new left back for Villa. Nicks the ball, drives into the area, Justin's out of position, pulls it back, and there's Leon Bailey to tap it into the net. And you're just thinking, once again, all the hard work of a good 45-minute performance, all the hard work, even though you played quite well in the second half to get yourself back in the game after conceding a poor goal, you've just thrown it away again by, once again, not clearing the lines, not resetting. Now, there's some fans saying, oh, is that what Rude said on the telly? As far as he's concerned, that ball should have gone into Rose Ed. The way he said it after the game, yeah, another mistake. We should have cleared our lines. We should have got rid of it. These were Rude's words, basically. So people can't say that Rude's asked them to play out from the back there. That is the lads have taken that decision. Well, we could get out of this. Nah, there was no way getting pinned out of there. That ball should have gone up the line. It should have gone back to the goalkeeper, and he should have cleared his lines. And Leicester reset. Then the danger's over. But no, we try and play out, and once again, it's cost us because we've ended up losing the game 2-1. Don't get me wrong. Villa then had a few chances afterwards because Leicester had to press forward. On comes Daka. On comes a few players trying to change the game. Obviously, Vestergaard has to go off. He looked knackered and injured. Coley comes on at the end again. But again, Connor Cody, that's another game he's come off. Can he last the 90 minutes now anymore? And then obviously Daka comes on, and we're going two up top by the looks of it. Buonanotti's come on, and it just seemed like we threw everything at that because we did against Brighton. Obviously Villa then hit the crossbar twice in the space of like 30 seconds, or blazed one over the bar. He should have scored, but we didn't really create anything after that to cause Villa any problems. What we learned for me, because there's quite a bit of debate from my point of view on our channel, on a few channels on the page. Have we improved from Steve Cooper? Now, firstly, I look at it, Steve Cooper had 12 games in charge. He also turned around and had the whole of pre-season. At no point did I feel comfortable with what I'd seen from Steve Cooper, that he could keep us up. The performances weren't there. There was no identity and there's no charisma. There was nothing about this. Have I seen any encouragement under Van Nistelrooy? For me, yes, I have seen encouragement. I've seen a style of play. I've seen a performance level from players go up. And there's games, if you look at Van Nistelrooy we came into, he had a tricky tie against West Ham, and don't get me wrong, we should have lost that game on that performance, but first game, he won. The game against Brighton, we got a draw. We then had a couple of big defeats to, Newcastle, and I can't think of the other one was, but yeah. But then the performance and Liverpool, but then the performance against Man City was very encouraging, but again, schoolboy defending cost us. The performance against Villa, very encouraging, at times. Yes, we need to work on our final third in some ways, but I can see what we're trying to do more from what the style of play is and how we're trying to break through the lines, who's going where. Yes, frustration sometimes. I don't get why the wingers aren't going at the men a bit more. Mavididi, especially at times when he's one-on-one with Cash. We saw against Man City what Jack Grealish did to Matty Cash. He got him booked after 10, 15 minutes because he kept fouling him because he ran at him and he kept trying to do him. I felt that Mavididi could have done him more and probably could have got him booked to maybe, taken him further down the pitch. But for some reason, he came inside. I just don't think his confidence levels are there at the moment, because that can't be Van Nistelrooy telling him constantly to turn back. It makes no sense to have a game plan like that. And if it is Van Nistelrooy, it's concerning me, it would. But I don't get it. It just seems to me just doesn't have the confidence to take his man on at the moment. Obviously, now we got the FA Cup tie against QPR on Saturday. Again, I think be a big change in that one. I think Coley will play. I think you'll see Thomas will be in there. I think you'll see a few of the younger players. Alves might even get a game. Daka will probably start. Give Vardy a rest now for a week for me. Give him a week off. Because then we have two massive games after that against Crystal Palace and Fulham. Well, for me, it has to be 6 points. We're talking about, that's where we're talking at now. We have to get 6 points from the next two home games against Palace and Fulham. I think yesterday, the biggest thing for me was, once again, we've played well. And I know fans will say, great, playing well, we're not picking points up. But generally, we're not picking points up because we're not, because we've been smashed like we did at Newcastle. We're not picking points up because we're making silly errors all the time. And yes, it's the same old players. And yes, that's down to Van Nistelrooy picking these players like Justin. Was it 18 points or something? Someone said to me, I saw online, yes, we've dropped from his side, or goals he's helped concede. But then you play Hamza Chowdhury there, who's not a natural right back. Yes, he could do a job there, but you're asking someone who's a midfield general or a midfield player to go and play right back, who he's also could be in the line that if you make a mistake, you're going to jump on him. We need to sign a right back. That's been adamant from the start of the season. I think Victor Christensen's been hit and miss, but I think he's been more an bang average and done his job well enough to say, yeah, you could put him in the team and he'll do a good enough job. But Justin at the moment, his confidence is that shot that his decision making is awful. I didn't think he had a bad game. I didn't think anyone had a bad game up to the point before the goals went in. But the goals went in, and once again, your whole performance over 90 minutes goes out the window, because that one, mistake from Justin has cost us the match again. That's what concerns me more, the individual errors. If I was sitting there thinking we've been smashed again every week, then I'd be more like, where the hell, well, we're done. I look at Southampton, battered again yesterday, another loss, only 6 points on the board. But what we got, 18 games left. I think you're roughly looking at, you're going to need 22, 24 points out of those 18 games. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all to try and stop. But what we've got to do somehow, and I don't know what money's available, we need to go and sign some players to add that little bit of quality to the squad, because that's, for me, is the bit what's harming us now. You've got those little bit of flares in El Kanouche. You've got the goal scoring ability of Vardy. But then you need something more. I thought Samari had another good game yesterday. Winks had another good game. In the middle of the part, I thought they played pretty well together. And Diddy to come back into that position hopefully soon. Mads Hermansen, God, let's hope he's back soon. I didn't think Slager had a bad game at all yesterday. But again, who knows if they would have saved any of those goals yesterday. We all know what Mads is like. He's a top quality goalkeeper. But for me, yeah, if you don't make mistakes, you get something out of that game yesterday. I'm not saying we would have won, but I think we would have got a point yesterday from that game without the mistakes. I genuinely believe, and a point fully deserved. I think we worked hard enough to get a point yesterday, and a point would have been a good point on the road. But say, massive game, QPR's QPR, whatever happens, the league, the cup, it doesn't mean this anything for us this season. For me, people say winning breeds confidence, but for me, we need to make sure we're rest and recovered going into the Premier League games now. They are the games that count about staying in the division or us going back to the Championship for another season or another few seasons, depending on our financial status. So, as always, hit the like button, drop me comments in there. I'll come back to, as always, want to know your views, what you thought of the team selection, what you thought of the own performance, why you thought we lost the game in your views. Was it down to team selection Van Nistelrooy? Was it down to the individual errors once again? Question also, have we improved? I want to know your opinion on that. Have we improved from Steve Cooper to Van Nistelrooy? Have you seen a difference? In my view, I have, but I want to know your view because, I like to know everyone's opinion on this matter. So let me know what you think of that one as well. As I always, keep it Leicester Fan TV, and I'll catch you all again soon.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co. and the Fox's Arms. For exclusive extra shows, behind the scenes, competitions and podcasts, subscribe to Leicester Fan TV today on Patreon.